like to try to explain a few things that are wrong here. First of all, this is correct. You want to put the output in the body section. However, you don't need to be echoing the expression. The reason we're using variables is to echo the variable. So it doesn't make sense to store the value from the post in a variable if you're not going to use it. However, there are a few things wrong. For example, you are trying to retrieve a value from an HTML element that does not exist, or is defined wrong, as in here, and that does not exist, which is here. And you're also setting up a variable here in the echo statements. The echo statements are not for setting up variables. They're for echoing back the value of variables. So all variables should be set up in the processing. And that is why you are seeing this error message when you submit the form. All right, what belongs in the head section of the HTML document? Well, the title tag, the meta tag, the style tags, the script tags. No, PHP does not belong there. PHP belongs on top of the doc type. PHP belongs in the body if you're using echo. However, all processing belongs up top. You do not clutter up the HTML document with your PHP processing. All right, to answer your first question, you cannot figure out why the code doesn't work properly. All right, let me explain why. This is not a PHP delimiter. You forgot the PHP, which means that none of this even worked when you tested it. The only thing that possibly worked were the echo statements that were retrieving values from the form, if they were correct. What you should be doing is you should be retrieving your values here, which you are, and storing them in a variable. Now, that is correct. However, when we go down into the body, you're using $_post. What was the purpose of setting up the variable if you're not going to use it? So you should set all your variables up together at the beginning, and then you should use them when you display the message to the user. All right, you're having a problem with the free gift. Well, this certainly is not going to help. Here you're storing the value from the radio button in the variable called amount, and now you're overwriting it and you're putting it in a variable called the free gift. And now you're trying to compare the variable of the amount, which is actually now the variable free gift, and then you're reassigning the value of free gift. So this logic is a little bit off. What you want to do is you want to set up a variable for a free gift, and because we don't know what it is yet, we're going to set it to an empty string. And we're going to use the amount to determine what the free gift is. So this switch should use as a parameter the amount. And now if the amount is 20, we're going to set the value for the free gift. Now if it's 40, we're going to set the value for the free gift, etc. Now you also could have initialized your gift variable here, and I always recommend initializing variables. Only because you might get an error message if you use it before it's been defined. So this looks correct so far. Right here, this line is correct, except you're missing a semicolon. Therefore, it's not going to work correctly. And this is correct. All right, and we have the variable holding the value of last name. However, down in the body section, you're using $_post again. Again, this is why we have the variables, to use them. All right, you're building the string, and this is correct. Okay, first we're going to grab the uppercase letter, and we're going to store it here. And now we have a variable for the confirmation number, and we're going to concatenate the letter with the random number. However, at this point, we don't have any value for this variable. The value for this variable is down here, and it doesn't belong down there. This statement belongs up further. So if you had the definition of the variable here, and now you're concatenating an expression using the variable, it should work. However, this needs to be in the body. You need to have an echo statement echoing that back in your message. Again, let me address this question. I defined this and put it in the body, and it still says undefined. No, you didn't put that in the body. What you put in the body was a statement to retrieve the value of an element whose name is letter. There is no HTML element in the form with the name of letter. This is letter. It's a variable name. So this was not defined in the body. And why it says it's undefined is because, yeah, it doesn't exist. So you need to pay more attention to what you're doing here. And again, if you have all of your variables set up together and maybe put a little bit of spacing, one per line maybe it might be a little bit easier to see the code rather than having it all together. But these were the major issues that you have. The biggest major issue was that you didn't have your PHP delimiter, so none of this code was being processed. I think I have pointed out the different problems you were having. Hopefully you understand this, and please let me know.